Hey everybody, Mr. JK here, back with another video, and hey, guess what? I got a new look. Yeah, I finally got shaved. Finally got shaved. I look good, and I feel good. Yeah, so I went to the barbershop. Finally got to the barbershop. I look good, and I feel good. You know what? And you know what? I said, you know what? Might as well just let's record and do a video. I haven't done this in a minute, and honestly, I should have did this quite some time ago. Anyways, so enough about me and my new look. Anyways, how you guys doing? It's been a minute. I forgot to record yesterday, and this video was supposed to come out sometime this morning, but I got lazy, like I always do. Anyways, enough about me talking about myself. So we got another video for you guys, and it's another unsubscribed clip specifically from the channel. This one is about World War II history with Windy Goon and Fat Electrician. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's go.
Right now it's a World War II history class, and pretty much the whole class, there's like 3 graded papers, but other than that it's just graded discussions with like 1 talking point. Yeah. And it's like the scope of what some of these kids think in college is mind-blowing. I would say over half of high school kids right now, or like new college-age kids in America, believe that America used nuclear weapons when we didn't have to for fun, just because we wanted to know if it would work. Yeah.
I have to say it's whoever thinks that, you're a fucking idiot.
You stupid.
Yeah. They have never heard of the Holodomor. They think that communism's awesome. It's never done anything wrong.
Yeah.
What else? I don't know. It's pretty much just trash.
It was wild to me, like my first big trip to DC with all the, small things I have going on. Being in a bar with people like talking about communism in a positive light.
No, I'm gonna just let this clip speak for itself.
Why are you the way that you are?
The capital of the United States. I am not fucking kidding you. It was the bar that like Obama was famous for taking like a huge drink of the beer out of, like that photo.
Okay.
Across the street, if you exit the bar, you're staring at it, is the Holodomor Memorial.
That wasn't real communism, though.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. It's not real communism.
Today we're going to talk about...
God, dude, every single time I see something like that, I just, like, something inside me just, whoever says that, I just want to wring their neck. I don't condone violence against anybody, but it's like you ever seen that one person that says something so incredibly dumb with absolutely no thought put into it? You're like, you just want to sit there and you want to just wring their fucking neck. That's me with people with that type of mindset. Like I just like I just want to take your brain. I just want to take your head, unscrew your cap, take your brain, and throw it into some solution to de-brainwash you with, because whoever says that's not real communism, you're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot.
Christ.
Today we're going to talk about...
I'm already cussing. That's how much they got me with that one.
It'll be different when I do it, guys. I promise. It works out every fucking time. It's gonna be different this time, though.
It's weird, like the Holodomor, like basically the Holocaust, but for Ukrainians that nobody talks about.
So yeah, that just happened. I think I had a little bit too much room in my thing, which is why I had to delete some things. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, back to the video.
There was like most people don't. Everybody thinks of like concentration camps. They just talk about Auschwitz. Auschwitz was like one of the few in Western Europe. There was more concentration camps in Eastern Europe than there was in Western Europe. Period.
By far.
By far. Like it's not even close.
What was it? Dachau, I think was one of the big ones.
I don't know the specific names of them.
Dachau was third biggest, if I recall right, second or third. I remember it because there was a video I did related to a battle at the end of the war that was right next to Dachau. So yeah, that one was in Austria.
What battle was it? So you and Nick can fucking
the Battle of Castle It.
I can see we're gonna be quiet for a minute.
Castle Litter. Yep. I made a video about it. It's a great story. It's fantastic.
I'm nervous to make it.
You're the only person on the podcast that just actually lifts weights. So like,
but.
Carrying the weight of the silence is just
Joe, you over here bench pressing silence.
what's your max bench? What's your max bench is 9 minutes of not talking.
Just showing up.
Hi, Cody. So let me ask.
Okay.
Why are you afraid to make the Itter video?
because the amount of nuance required to be able to say things like, "Hey, there was this time where America teamed up with." The German military.
Hold on. I got you. Because I want to see your take on it. So I did the video.
Well, this is interesting considering
current
current
events.
events.
Shut up.
Don't look to your left. Don't look to your left.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at this on this show.
I know. If you don't you fucking bat it.
I just pull focus on you. You get straight right now.
I can almost hear his voice.
Did you just say I had a bad take?
So, when I was explaining it, I didn't get flagged for this, and I do think this is the historical context. At the end of World War II, Germany had exhausted the majority of its fully aged, trained fighting forces. This was in 45. They were throwing whoever they could, they were 15, 16-year-olds.
Like the amount of soldiers, man. There's that one video where it's like going over to the death tolls of World War II. It's like, dude, the amount of bodies the Germans got.
Old kids with rifles out into the field, right? So the difference and what differentiates ITER so much is the Wehrmacht, which was the army effectively, was composed of children, fighters who were raised in the schools of the Third Reich, pushed onto the fields. And the SS was made up of the officers who ran the Dachau concentration camp. The officers realized that they would not be favorable in a trial after the war. So they were going to fight to the last man. But several soldiers of the Wehrmacht realized that the Americans weren't just executing prisoners and they could probably surrender. So a Wehrmacht officer who was effectively leading an army of high schoolers or a station of high schoolers realized that maybe he doesn't want them to get killed over nothing. So he surrenders and goes to the American side. And there was a prison, Castle Litter. I mean, you know the story. Nearby Dachau, where the SS guards were planning to attack. So, they had just evacuated it. Wehrmacht general officer gets the Americans to go help. SS comes to attack, and the Wehrmacht helps the Americans get the prisoners out of the castle. Yeah, I think as long as you play into the nuance of because it's not saying you're not saying in that Germany wasn't.
As you explain this, could you
shift
your chair closer this way?
Do I know you?
You're starting to hurt my feelings.
Man, he turned it. He did 40.
He's that one girl that a guy comes up to.
8 minutes talking to
I'm sorry, do I know you?
everyone. Now you just shifted completely to the.
You committed to the bit, and I wanted to fucking sewer slide.
Continue on this story though. So you have your different.
Oh no! I was at the end of it.
My whole concern is just you have to actually have the nuance to be able to say hey, there's varying grades of evil when it comes to Germans in World War II. Some of them were 16-year-old kids that didn't have a choice, and some of them were, political radicals that actually believed in that shit. But you can't have opinions like that on the internet.
The way you explain it isn't in such a way to say that, like, oh,
yeah, that is like, you just can't have opinions on stuff like that.
Germany wasn't bad at some parts. It's to say that Germany was so wicked that they were using effectively meat for the war machine. Anyone who could hold a rifle.
Yeah, especially just throwing them into the meat grinder.
Rifle was pushed to the front lines. During the Battle of Berlin, there's stories of some like artillery positions where the average age of the soldier was 14. Like just absolutely horrific war crimes that were being committed. And it's not to say that, they were, it's not like, oh, Germany wasn't so bad. It's that they were so bad that there were people in this position.
And it realistically, it wasn't like Germany was so bad necessarily. It's just like you have 1,000 people in charge, roughly at the top.
Yeah, the German government. Yeah. Of course.
Everyone else is told Germany is in danger. Your homeland is being invaded. You have to protect yourself. Or you have to protect your homeland. It's a common lie that's been told as long as humanity has existed.
There's like a lot of people who like you said, several people who like lived down the country lane were handed a rifle and told to march. They didn't know like the gravity of what was happening. The people who do not get that excuse is like the SS officers and people like that responsible. Yeah, so that's why I think the Castle of Itter would work, because there is that distinguishing. Like they had no excuse. They knew what was coming.
I mean, you even get like in the South during the Civil War, it's like people think like, oh, the South fought for slavery. It's like 4% of Confederate soldiers own slaves.
Yeah,
on 4% of the South.
Yeah, on like the government level, yeah, definitely. But like when it comes to like the individual soldiers, the people who were marching, these guys couldn't read or write. Most of them, they lived in the backwoods. Yeah, I mean it's like that with any war. People are victims of some rich man's game. They're just pawns in a fight.
Yeah. Let's see if we. I got enough time. Let's see if we can get another video. You know what? Here's one right here. The 77th Infantry Division of World War II featuring a fat electrician. Now, here's the thing.
I went and had...
We did a reaction video to his actual video on this. So it's actually fun to see what the reaction is, what these guys are going to say. So yeah, let's get into it.
Breakfast with like this random guy that emailed me recently because he was passing through Mason City, which immediately sketchy. And every time I bring a gun, sketchy. And every time it's like a 70-year-old man that just wants to say hi to me. It's the most adorable thing on the planet. I'm like looking for like, I walk in immediately, open the door, step left with the wall to my fucking back, scan. Every time it's a 70 to 85-year-old man.
Nick's
out of my way! Out of my way! Can't you see he's gonna kick my butt? Hi there, young people. Nice day today.
An electrician, sir. And it's like, oh, this is adorable. So I meet this dude. And
Nick's audience base is like you have 80% and 75 and over. It's just old people watching you.
And then older people, actually. It's a lot.
I imagine like him just telling his grandkids, I met the man on the talking box on the wall. That's really cool. That's really cool, Grandpa. I bet you do.
It happens. So like, basically this guy, like he comes, he had books, he had fucking newspaper clippings, and he's like, he told me this whole story. His dad.
I think it's time we talk to him about that community we looked at. Right? He's already talking to the TV's talking back.
Oh, this is the sweetest story.
No, but I did. I really met him. I feel spry as a spring chicken.
But no, this dude, he brought like a book that he wrote and then a bunch of newspaper articles and sources. He just wanted me to do a video on the unit that his dad fought in World War II. And I was like, fuck, okay, tell me about it. Like, like I can only do so much. And this dude had all the research done, and it was the 77th Infantry Division in World War II, and it was like basically an experiment. It was the first unit in World War II that was comprised of all draftees, and the average age of them was 33. So like it was literally an entire division of middle-aged men with families and kids that they sent into World War II as like an experiment to see like, okay, can a 30-year-old still hack it? They were, don't quote me on this.
They had the best coffee.
Bro, so listen to this. They were supposed to be
at live too.
I think D-Day there was 11 divisions that stormed the beach at Normandy. I think there was supposed to be 12. This was the 12th. They like nah, we're not sending you there. So they were the first Army division to go over with the fucking Marine Corps in the Pacific, and they were just fucking shit up. And the
they were just fucking shit up.
Marines started calling them the 77th Marine Division because they were so fucking good. And they started calling them, their nickname is the Old Bastards because it was a bunch of 33-year-old men just fucking not about being here at all.
Yeah, because we got a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah, they're like literally grown-ass men with kids going in and fighting this war. And that one, like the name came from a 19-year-old Marine that famously said, like, look at those old bastards go, as they were storming a beach on a Japanese island during an amphibious landing. And so they fought all throughout the Pacific, and then there was one island that was holding out after the Japanese had surrendered with like 5,000 Japanese troops on it, because that was a huge issue at the time because all the
I'm thinking he's talking about the story where like there were it was at the end of it, and it's like this is one battalion that just refused to surrender to the 77th Division, so they had to trick them into surrendering.
Japanese guys like, that's propaganda, it's not true. Japan would never surrender. And they're like, eventually they're like, okay, fine, we're gonna surrender, but we're only gonna surrender. They had gotten island hopped, and they're like, we're gonna surrender, but we're only gonna surrender to the 77th Infantry Division because those guys were kicking our asses so hard.
Did they want to surrender or did they not want to surrender? That's confusing.
That if we are gonna lose, we only want to lose to them. So they had to actually send representatives from the 77th Army Division over to accept the surrender from these Japanese officers.
It makes sense. They're a bunch of older guys who fucking hate anime and want to go home and fuck their wives.
Yeah, those men definitely use racial slurs.
Anime didn't even exist back then.
Dude, they were the dudes.
Like, it was the greatest generation. They kind of fucking all did.
Dude, like seriously,
You ever met some of those guys? They never stopped.
Grandpa's too old for change.
Oh no, like those were the dudes that were doing, like, if you Google Japanese trophy skulls in the Pacific, that was probably those guys. You ever look that up?
Guess what my grandpa had in the attic?
Yeah, like what president had to come out and say that
your grandfather had one?
No, I'm just like those other people.
Yeah, one like whatever president came out and said, guys, you got to stop taking trophy skulls from the Pacific Islands.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Was it Roosevelt, Truman?
Like, it was one of them. Do you ever look that up? Because so many dudes were, so many dudes.
They would boil.
What is it?
It was one of them. Do you ever look that up?
Okay.
Because so many dudes were. So many dudes.
They would boil the fucking skulls and then paint them with like their unit icons and shit. Like,
there is still some.
That's metal as fuck.
Japanese skulls out there with like Marine Raider insignia they painted on them to send back home to their girlfriends, and it got to a point where the president at the time had to say, guys, you can't do this anymore, this is fucked.
You're giving the mailman PTSD, knock it off. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's a famous picture. There's this famous picture of like the girlfriend getting one in the mail.
They used to. Oh my God, that was what they'd send their spouse.
She doesn't look like she likes it.
It's kind of hot,
dude. Japanese trophy skulls were a thing.
Your guy fucks at war so hard, he's sending you back.
Look what he did to make it back to me.
Just saying, man.
Oh my God,
I love
that's so fucking metal.
You see me, it's so white and
dark.
Bleach.
Jesus Christ.
what do you write back to your spouse that sends you a fucking skull?
Also,
I want you to put a third baby in me.
Random fact about this, I had a whole comment thread on one of my recent videos roasting me about how fucking stupid I am because I said that World War II ended when Japan surrendered. And apparently a significant portion of European countries don't recognize the Pacific Theater like at all. Like it's just not taught in their education system, and like World War II ended to them when Germany was defeated.
Oh my God. No, it's not your fault. It's their own education system's fault.
No. He's got a point.
And I was a stupid American capitalist pig for implying that Japan had anything to do with World War II. And I was like, that's...
Well, that's interesting you say that because did they not teach you that the World War II and during World War II, all three of both Japan, Italy, and Germany were in a pact called a We're in a tripartite pack, if I'm correct. That's what it's called. So they were called the Axis Power. What are you talking about?
Really interesting.
Yeah, no
I'm not
shit,
even
you're
mad.
half-
I'm just interested.
You're half the fucking
Yeah,
world
that
away
is
from a
interesting.
big fucking problem. You know we had to nuke those bastards twice, right?
They did probably the worst war crimes. That's a lot of people.
No,
don't
not
realize
probably.
it.
They did.
the
Yeah, they did the worst.
worst war crime. Sorry, stand corrected.
The great
Nanking, anyone?
aping of Nanking has entered the chat.
Unit, what was it? Unit
Yeah, the grapening of Nanking.
731.
731.
Like those, you just need those two stories and be like, oh yeah, they were the bad guys. And when they're like, yeah, we didn't do that, they tried to cover up that piece of history from their own people. And
Yes.
like, oh, you
The
guys
George,
fucked up.
the George Bush Sr. thing, that, all kinds of shit.
That and the yeah. Well, yeah, that one was fucking
Those
wild.
big oofs.
Wait,
Well,
which
like,
one?
we'll all read
George
into
Bush Sr.
Go on with that story.
I've told it on the podcast once. They got really mad at me because I said he wasn't shot down. Apparently, he was shot down. He escaped. My bad. I was super hammered. I fucked up one little detail of the story.
Like the Gerald Ford.
The first, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
In the comment section, I was like,
Ford versus Gerald Ford thing.
Yeah, fucking
you
me,
guys caused
super
him
drunk.
stress.
What's weird is you said Gerald Ford, but I immediately knew that you meant Eric.
Well, and I had
Ford.
just made a video talking about Gerald Ford, so I had said Gerald Ford 500 times in the last 2 weeks, so it just came out that way. It was Henry Ford, my bad. Anyways, George Bush Sr. was a combat pilot in World War II, and one of his first missions was like at the ass end of the Pacific, and him and his entire squadron got shot down on this Japanese island. He was the only one that escaped. Everybody else that got captured got eaten alive by a cannibal group of Japanese soldiers.
What the
Wait, what?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, there's like you can go on YouTube. Yeah, everybody else in his squadron got eaten alive, and then like 40 years, not 40 years, whatever. However, later he was president, and he like there's a video of him like passing out and vomiting because somebody's eating something, and he like has an episode where he remembers because he didn't find out about this until he was like already president. And he finds
So
out
if
like,
the
oh,
Japanese
by the
were
way,
just a little
Wow.
hungrier, 9/11 would have been prevented.
You know?
fuck
Why?
Christ.
Our live audience didn't like that one.
Holy fuck.
You just heard one person like,
Look, let's just say we all
Not a
could
good
have
crowd.
we all could have prevented 9/11.
Brandon's
When
like,
fucking King
Brandon just-
Trout has that facial expression of all people on the planet.
Better with a sign, King Trout. Just yeah.
you're just like, I'm gonna scratch that one off. That was that one.
Oh no.
That's a deep cut.
Not good for crowd work.
Note to self, butterfly effects don't always go that great.
What the? Why would you say that? All right, so yeah, so that's the end, guys. Thank you all for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.